Hello everyone, so welcome to this first video about effective and creative ad messages. And I'm just going to start with some general suggestions for creating effective advertisement. What better way to start than to show you one of the most iconic and traditional advertisements that there is. Even though I don't personally like the brand, I have to say that this ad was absolutely fantastic. So let's take a look.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Our unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people. One will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Oops. All right. So that advertisement is indeed iconic, and I have to say that Apple did a very good job. That advertisement is iconic because up until that point, there was no other company offering pretty much a good operating system. It was Microsoft, and therefore all those messes that you see, all those kind of like zombies looking at the big screen, those were the Microsoft or the Windows users because they did not really have any alternative. So Apple came to the market and said, hey, we're going to create a new alternative that will be better and that will be different from what you currently have. So the girl running with a hammer, she represented Apple and the fact that Apple was coming to basically create a disturbance to break the rules. And I think it's one of the greatest advertisements. But as you know, Apple has been known for creating many different advertisements, and I would say that the second best that they made that I absolutely liked as well was the Apple iPod commercial with the silhouettes, and it was very simple. It was just silhouette figures against the neon backgrounds holding iPods, but at the same time there's so much in this simplicity of design that really made the commercial stand out. So this simplicity of the design and the different look that most commercials, which feature identifiable figures engaging in dialogue or figures, for example, that are having fun by holding the product, and it was such a nice and simple way of creating an advertisement that generated something different, that it was different from all the others. So what is it that makes an advertisement easy to remember compared to others? We are exposed by dozens, hundreds, sometimes thousands of different ad messages throughout the day. So what makes it different? Well, there's many theories obviously that go into it, but today I'm going to explain some of the theories that I absolutely like the most. And the first one is called the can elements, all right? And I always like to remember a little can, a metallic can, to remind me of what it is. So creative ads typically share three features, all right? This theory tells us that there are three features that they share. Number one is connectedness, number two, appropriateness, and number three, novelty. So let's go one by one. Connectedness. So this category says that, all right, a good advertisement will reflect empathy. In other words, really reflect something that we can empathize with. Now let's look to the advertisement on the right from JBL, and we see that obviously the space missing in the image, or the white message, represents the headphones that JBL typically sells, and the fact that they are noise cancellation headphones. This image is relatable because obviously we live in a society with so much noise, and especially in the last couple of years, where more and more of this noise has been incorporated by, for example, Donald Trump and many of the news, and sometimes feels like we are overwhelmed. So this is an image that we look, and it creates empathy to have that moment of silence in such a chaotic world. All right, so with this ad, we kind of create a bond with it because we see ourselves reflected in the problem that this person is having. And the ad, therefore, in order to have this connectedness, needs to be relevant to the target audience basic needs. And in this case, the basic need here is a need for silence or a need for peace, right? So this is an example of what connectedness means: to connect with your audience, to connect with something that they need. Appropriateness is the fact that advertisement must provide information that is pertinent to the advertised brand. In other words, the information displayed needs to be connected, needs to be appropriate to the brand being used. So the message, in this case, a message is on target for delivering what the proposition or the positioning of the brand is. It captures the brand relative strengths and it's coherent. In other words, the entire message elements work together for one thing. Okay. Now here's a great advertisement example about a knife, and we see a carrot that is sliced, but not just the carrot, the cutting board as well. And the line or the slogan reads, "Sharper than you think, the WMF Grand Gourmet Knife with the Mental Steel Blade." So here it is an ad that the whole thing together is pointing to one point, which is sharpness, which is showing that the whole product is high quality, and therefore the message that is trying to transmit is appropriate because it's a knife. It's about satisfying the need that that product is trying to sell. The third one is novelty. So novelty is the fact that it has to be new. To be novel means to be new, something unique, something fresh, something unexpected. So novelty draws consumers' attention to an ad so that they engage in more effortless information processing. And before I move on, I'm quite sure that you focus more on the image than on what I'm saying. So this image is a real image. This was a Burger King restaurant that burned down. Now, rather than just put the restaurant away, just put the image away as something that happened, an accident, Burger King actually used the image to create an ad, flame grilled since 1984, because what makes Burger King unique is the fact that they grill their burgers with actual flames rather than just a heat plate, for example. And therefore they used this image to create an advertisement for themselves. It was absolutely original, and it grabs your attention because it looks like a photo from a news, but then you realize it's actually an advertisement. So going back to my points, I want to say that advertisements that are not original cannot grab the attention of the consumer, and therefore they will not be remembered. Advertisers can be considered creative only if they also are connected and appropriate. So in other words, you really need to make sure that whatever you have at the end, whatever you have as the element that brings uniqueness to your ad, that, you know, being just unique is not enough. You also need to make sure that it links with what? With connectedness and with the appropriate. So good advertisements connect with our audience on three main points, all right? For creating a bond or for creating empathy, through giving information that is appropriate, all right? And obviously for creating something that is novel, something that is new. Now, different ads will have different strengths, and obviously different people prefer different things. So tell me, in your opinion, leave a comment on the video below and tell me which one of the three do you believe is the most important: to create the bond, to give important information, or to create something new in order to create a great advertisement. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.